Well, we have our friend from, I can almost say, well, what is it, down east, somewhere there against the coast of KwaZulu-Natal. Vinesh Soogreem, welcome to Four Anglers tonight.
Hey, always good to be here, Werner. Great to see you again. And yeah, thanks for having me.
The question is, what is happening down
Hmm,
there?
a lot. Apart from the heat and an insane amount of heat, a lot is going on with the fishing. You know, it's KZN. We fish so many facets, and it's always a good time, whether it's summer or winter. So yeah, we're obviously going through that summer spell where if we had to start off on the rock and surf side, lots of non-ed action. Now, the main species on that non-edibles has been the gray sharks. It just hasn't stopped. Werner, throughout the entire coastline, gray sharks are massive, right? And we are getting some nice sized ones in between as well. So, you know, in December, we're getting those at about 10, 11 kilos. Now there's those 25-kilo grays. But apart from that gray sharks, we're having a good run of sandies. So the sand sharks are out and about. We've got some good black tips that are out and about. So yeah, it's a fantastic time on that rock and surf side.
And are they all close enough for casting?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you don't have to be a crazy experienced caster to get those anywhere within the 100-meter mark. You know, you get in those. If you can't reach 100 meters with those slightly heavier baits, you might need to do a little bit of wading. However, we need to talk about where you can wade because
Okay.
certain waters are a little bit hazardous. But yeah, no, the guys throwing off the deeper points are getting hammerheads. Now, down the south coast, off the piers, the guys are getting a lot of sharks because obviously the piers are a bit more further in. They can't reach those deeper points, and there's a lot more deeper water out there. So, yeah, there's such a good variety of species. And then, of course, the rest of that summer species, like this week, and beautiful, a rare catch, something we haven't seen in years, has been a bludger kingfish. So that I'll send you the photos of that in a moment. We'll be playing here now, but yeah, a bludger kingfish, beautiful fish, and that came off the south coast as well.
Oh, brilliant. Let's just go back to the non-eds on the shark side. If I go
Hmm.
down maybe next week or so, what type of baits do I have to throw for the sharks?
Okay, so your number one choice of bait is going to be a mackerel, right? So you're gonna, if you can get mackerel now, around this time, mackerel starts becoming like gold, right? Because the guys that got it will not part with it. I mean, here's a crazy one. Last year, the guys were selling the mackerel for 200 rand each, and it was being sold because that's how potent that bait is right now. However, if you cannot get mackerel, use red eyes, and then just get fancy with your baits. Use your chocker mixed with a bit of sardine, chocker mixed with prawn. Those are going to work, but you want a bloody fleshy bait, and that's generally a mackerel or a moss bunker or a red eye. The bigger the better. You got some bonnies, 100%. Use a bonnie head. That's what the guys are getting the sand sharks on. That's what they're getting those hammerheads on. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Tell me a little bit. Is there still, I know that drones is an issue and nobody can fish the drones, but are the guys still doing some kite fishing and things like that for the sharks?
I haven't noticed any of that at all, Werner. The thing is, the sharks are fairly close right now, so there
Okay.
was really no need for it. Obviously, we can't drone anymore. But with the kite fishing, I haven't really noticed. Yes, you will get the odd guy where you see your buddy with a kayak going out, and you'll tell me, "Hey, drop the bait out because it's too big for me to drop out." So that does help. The guys are sliding with those heavier baits as well. Those full mackerel and things. So yeah, no droning. I haven't noticed or got any reports of any kite fishing. There hasn't really been a need for it as yet. Well, as much.
Yeah, you,
Hmm.
you spoke a little bit about hazardous waters, and I hear that there are some beaches that are closed. What is happening on that front?
Yeah, so over December we had a peak of E. coli down the south coast and a couple of our other beaches. So as of the last couple of weeks, I say since around mid-January, about 2, 3 weeks back, Durban beach has, well, the Blue Lagoon beach has been prohibited for fishing. Now that's due to the E. coli. That's due to the problem with the sewage in the water. So yeah, it is very toxic. So it's Durban Beach and Anstey's Beach. So whoever's in KZN, if you're out on those beaches, guys, please be careful. Not cool to go out there. We've had anglers getting ill. Our mutual friend Ray picked up a bit of a bug as well. So it's just those areas. Now we did fish further down. We are fishing towards our Durban Ski Boat Club and lots of anglers out there. That's where we get in that non-head action and the water is fine. So wherever you see those warnings where they say fishing prohibited, please adhere to that because the guys were ill. I mean, a lot of our inland friends has come down over December. There weren't many warnings out, but there were, there was word through the socials that there's E. coli out there, but there weren't any signboards out, and the guys went out and they got seriously ill. I can tell you for myself, I was down the South Coast last week. I did my research before I went there, and the guys, it was fine. And then I took a chance, went and fished the Friday night. I fished the Saturday morning. I figured, okay, it's getting into the afternoon. It's 24 hours that I've been exposed to the water. I was fine. And then I was okay to get my kids in the water. So, we had a blast and then we came back. We spent Saturday and Sunday in the beach, rolling around, having fun. And we all were okay,
Okay.
so
The South Coast is green.
Yeah, so whoever's coming down and were ill over December and concerned about the South Coast right now, it's all good.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. What is happening with the other green fish on the bassing side?
Okay, because we've got two green fish. I wonder whether you're talking about our green and gold fish that we tried fishing for the last time, or yeah, the bass. So bass was on fire. Verno, last week it was insane, right? I'm talking guys were smashing PBs. My buddies were out there in Under Dam, which is just outside of Durban. The guys were getting 4.4 kilos, 4 kilos, 3.5 kilos. So some good fish out there. Hazelmere has been fished all day long. I mean, the guys were getting bass. Now, they weren't getting the big bass, but they were getting consistent amount of bass off the banks. Yeah. So if the kids they haven't fished before and they were out there, they were having an absolute blast, virtually throw for throw off the banks. Now, there were the smaller ones. I'm talking 200-300 grams, right? The guys that went out with the boats, they were getting the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And then Midma Dam and Albert Falls Dam were getting the fish. However, we had some heavy rain, we had some mad hot temperature after that, and the bass just went completely quiet on pretty much on all dams. However, there was still other fish to catch, and that fish was
give them a few weeks, they'll be back.
100%. Yeah, I have no doubt. Now, in the Midlands as well, you're aware of Sterkfontein Dam. That's where the action has been over the last couple of weeks, right? I mean, we've been reporting on that yellowfish week after week, and it just seems to be not even slowing down. It's just getting better and better and better. So yellowfish, you can see from the images here, the guys are having an absolute blast.
And they're all smallies, eh?
Sorry?
They're all smallies, smallmouths.
Yes. Yeah. So the thing is, I'm more of a saltwater boy. These are the reports I've been getting from our friend Jan at Kingfisher Pietermaritzburg, and he's out there next week as well. So we'll get more accurate results of what they were. All I know is they look big and they look gold.
No, that's a trait of the.
They got me thrilled enough.
That's the trait of the Sterkfontein smallmouth yellows. And I believe earlier you said off camera, you said that there's some big carp coming out at Sterkies as well.
Yes. So the carp last week has been pretty good at all three of our major dams where we're doing our carp fishing, which is Midma, Albert, and Inanda. And that kind of slowed down a little bit. I think it's all depending on this weather, how hot it's been, or the amount of rain we've been getting. I don't know what threw them off, but there were good reports. And then this week we got some very good reports from Sterkfontein Dam. So amongst that yellowfish, there has been some carp.
Yeah, it's always quite a trick at Sterkfontein with that clear water. You've got to be very specific on the carp side in terms of bait. Yeah. And offshore, is there any action offshore?
Lots of action. This is that time of year we've been waiting for. Irrespective of how hot and dehydrated we get out there, we are having an absolute blast. I promise you, every outing you go, you get in Dorado, right? So Dorado hasn't stopped. I mean, the last time we spoke, I was telling you about Dorado coming out of even our beaches, our rock and surf anglers were getting Dorado. They put in some good shots out there with some good reaction plugs, and they were getting the fish, right? So the Dorado hasn't stopped. That's been, I think everyone in KZN is probably sick of eating Dorado because it's just so much of it out there. But the good thing is there's been a ridiculous amount of snook, right? That's on the north coast and just outside Blue Lagoon as well. So snook has been crazy, and then the kuta are coming about, which is at the perfect time because now we'll start having all those kuta competitions. The guys are going to start doing their bookings for the world's biggest kuta comp, which is our Durban Ski Boat Festival. And I know everyone's interested in, is the kuta around what size kuta? I can tell you they're from about 15 kilos up. I haven't seen any small ones.
That's a real crock, eh?
Oh, proper. I think they average in between 18 to 20 kilos right now. So
Nice.
some beautiful size kuta that's on the bite. Now they're not wild, right? I mean they're not like as wild as the Dorado or the snook, but the ones that are coming out are quality fish. Snook is wild. Snook for days, right? So snook, Dorado, and then if you're traveling further up north, if the guys are heading down to St. Lucia, Sodwana, Cozy Bay, there has been good reports of bullfish, mainly sailfish amongst those billfish. So we've been getting a lot of sailies out there.
Well, that's it. Maybe I must make a plan and fly down for a day or two and
Oh, you have to.
out with Brad or something.
100%. We hook up with Brad and we go and kind of finish off what we started the last time
Yeah.
because, yeah, we went out an evening after the tornado and, yeah, it wasn't very pleasant. So,
No, is
yeah.
there any fish on the jigs, slow pitch jigging or just normal vertical jigging?
I haven't got too many reports of that. Yeah, so I'm not sure what the guys were getting those on, but the guys weren't bragging about the vertical jigging or anything like that. Yeah, we know slow pitch jigging is always a thing. You're bound to get something on that. I have no doubt that you must be getting the dories or something, whatever it is, because there's so much Dorado around. But I haven't heard of anyone bragging about those. It's mainly those small kingfisher rattler ones, those pink and purple
Yeah.
lures. I promise you, if you can get hold of those, I'm not sure if the boys inland can get those before you come down. Get as many as you can
I've,
because the
I've
shelves are empty all over here.
I've got
Yeah.
in my tackle box two purple,
Well,
two pinks, and there's one. It's like a perlemoon white shiny color with a little bit
yeah,
of pink in.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one as well. That's the third choice. So first choice is the pink, second is the purple, third is the one you're talking about.
Well, that's great. Vinesh, thank you very much, and we'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks again. Hopefully, I get down there
Absolutely.
before the time.
You have to, Vernon. Now's the time to be here.
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
All
joining.
right, cheers.
Right, cheers. Bye bye.